Hello everybody, it's Natasha Lee, aka your photo manager, and I am here with Project Life 2024 designed in Canva.
Okay, let's get started and dive into week 3. So first of all, as per usual, I'm going to go to my projects and my 2024 yearbook, and I'm going to be uploading my pictures here. So I'm going to go to the place where I have copied them into a folder, and I'm going to select all of these and bring them into Canva. You'll see them loading here on the left hand side. So generally when I'm trying to decide on what kind of design layout to use, I need to look at the photos and see whether they are landscape or portrait to be able to know what I'm going to use. Well, I do know that this is going to be I like to follow a sort of chronological order. So I'm thinking there's going to be a 6x4, another 6x4, another one. I think maybe I'll just go for that same sort of 6x4 layouts on the left hand side. I think I've used that before. Yeah, over here. So if I do that, then I choose to go here and duplicate the page and then move it into the right slot and then proceed to delete the pictures that are there so that I can bring in the new pictures and the new design. So I'm going to start with that.
Okay, so I am looking for week 3, which I've changed to white and brought in. And now I'm going to resize it and use the old one to sort of get it a similar size. And you can see me doing that here. This is always a little bit of a fiddly job. Yep, I'm still deleting the old one there. Struggling with trying to position it without it clipping into the photo placeholder. So I'm just using my arrow key upwards to move that into the right spot. Okay, I had an idea for this first card of a picture of Montenegro, which is where Yonga was leaving to come back to South Africa. So I'm quickly going to go and have a look for that photo. And once I've found that, I'll be bringing it in to my uploads and then dragging that into the first spot. Yep, that's it. You can see I'm just going to group the text here, move it down into the right position and making sure that I've got the top of that photo. Yeah, love what that looks like.
And then I'm going to go up to elements, and I looked for flight path heart, and I came across some really lovely options here with a heart in it. I quite like this one where it's got a start and a finish, and I'm going to work around by sort of positioning the plane and the heart like that. I'm going to change its color to white, and let me try and drop the transparency of that a little bit, just so it sort of is just a bit more subtle. And yeah, I really like that. So I think I'm probably going to go for that. Let me go back to the pictures. And the next picture will be us collecting him at the airport, and then him joining us on our morning walks. And then one of our traditions is to come home and have our Yearbook meal, which we did over here. And then a really, really enjoyable thing to do was when Yonga went back to Crazy Korean, and you know, he has a lot of the staff are still there, and believing me, when he arrived they all sang and were so joyful. And then I honestly feel I couldn't believe the difference that he, you know, that in a child in just such a short time, 10 months of hard labor and work, and he's really come back. So I think I'll add some journaling down here.
Okay, I wanted to add a hashtag, and I always, when I post about our walking, I always call it hashtag morning walks. So I picked this little speech bubble so that, it kind of links also to sort of an Instagram idea. I positioned that just into that nice part there where the tar is. I think that's going to look good. I changed it to white. And then I needed to add a text box so I could write the words morning walks, which you can see me doing here. I've just done it in the default text that the box opened in, but I will be changing that to Ali's hand. So I need to select the text and position it correctly, and then change the font to Ali's hand. You can see me linking it here, making the size better before I then go ahead and change that font. Okay, yeah, very happy with that. And just position it slightly better and ready to move on. All right, for the next page, I was looking for a grid with 6 photos. So I go back to my project and I'm going to be looking for the photographs to fill the grid. And here I am with my great friends Debbie and Laura and Lisa. This was for Gareth's 50th, and love that picture of them. And then I filled the other gaps with other photos of Yongo and okay, first of all, I picked Kwangjan and our delicious prawn dinner, and then Yongo with his cousin, and Yongo with a close friend of ours, Nick, and then just repositioning those to try and sort of keep the heads at the same height and pulling the grid in so that I've got as much of the photo in as possible. And then I'm going to be looking for a 50th birthday element. So I click elements, I write 50th birthday, I have a look, I look at the graphics, I go back and look at all of the things because I did glance at something I like this one with a black background. And yeah, it turns out that that's actually a photo and it fits perfectly in that spot. Then I go to Google and I Google Mozambique, the restaurant that we had those delicious prawns at. And I'm choosing restaurants and images. Put logo just to make your search very specific. I want images, and I go and open that image. And I'm going to be right clicking on that image and saving it to a location on the computer so that I can then bring that into Canva. I'm hoping that I've picked a PNG. I could have actually done a search specifically saying PNG. I didn't in this case, but it turns out either way it was okay. So you can see me adding it to my folder here and then going back and uploading it into the project so that I can then bring it in to the spot that I'd like to add it to. And there you go. I actually saved 2, but I am going to be using the first one that I found. Click on it, bring it into the design, resize that, and position it on top of the picture. Whoops, made a little error there. Undo's one's favorite friend. And once again, going to use the arrow key for the last little juggling of that text into the right position. I love adding the text of places that we've been to, in the future. That will help me identify where it was. And here you can see I'm looking for our second favorite place, which is the Glenwood Bakery. And I'm doing the same thing, looking for a logo. And then I'm going to be saving that logo and doing the same process. Save it to a location, going to Canva, and then adding it to my images, bringing it in. There it is, and positioning it in the images that were taken at the Glenwood Bakery. And this is pretty much going to be quite a simple page. I don't really feel I need to say anything more. I just use my arrow key once again to position that logo. Okay, now I'm going to be doing one of my other ideas, which was to bring in Yongwoo's sailing pictures. So I go to Elements and I've put in there photo collage, and then further narrowed it down to Polaroid collage, and then clicked on a design that I thought would look great. But I wasn't 100% sure, so I just carried on looking for another one, and yes, this is the one. I prefer this. I'm going ahead and removing the quote here because I'm going to be adding my own quote. I duplicate this photo box and position it so that the gap is now filled. And then I'm going to be removing all the images here so that I can replace them with my own images. Then I duplicate this page, and now I'm going to go and look for the images that I'm going to be bringing in of Yongwoo's travels. So you can see I'm going to my project, I go to upload, I go and locate the file where I specifically had Yongwoo's pictures, and I'm going to bring them all in. So I've brought in the first lot over here, and then in a second I'm going to go back because I divided them into low and high res. But I'm going to be using all these pictures fairly small, so I'm not too concerned about the resolution of the images. And in fact, what I decided to do was the first page, you can see I added the quotes already in, and then I picked all images that had to do with Yongwoo working on the boat. So this first spread is going to just be a mixture of pictures of him at work. So his friends, his co-workers, the boat, the scenery, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, I love it. I'm just repositioning that quote a little bit and then doing a little bit of tweaking of the photos just to make sure that, the photos are sticking out as I'd like them to be, and that the Instagram quote screenshot there has got, I don't want to see my home screen and things like that. So I'm just sort of playing around with the final positioning of these pages. But I am really happy with this insert and how it shows what my son was up to. Here you can see me copying the text that I've started with the bits of my Facebook post, and then I added some of the journaling to my Apple Notes. I bring in a text box and position it into the part of the screen where the journaling is going to be added. I change to black so that you can see that. Change the size of the text, and then I paste using the paste command. And I'm going to reposition using the corner boundaries. And you're going to see here that one has to fiddle around to get the text to be the right size in that box so that it can fit, but it's still readable. So when I look there now, I can see that the text size is 9, which is still reasonable because this book that I'll be doing is a 30 by 30. And that is a 6 by 4 inch card. I enlarged the card here just to give me a little bit more white space, and then moved the text down into that spot. Yep, I think I'm pretty happy with that. And that's a wrap.